What's up, bro? Welcome back to another video. The topic of today is going to be reasons why you need to quit porn. And I just got my computer here right next to me, so I get reminded of the top things that I want to talk about in this video. So basically, rewiring your mind about sex and intimacy, right? You see it as a release of pleasure, instead of a life force to create a whole entire human being. What do you think happens to that energy when it leaves your body? And honestly, this is something that you need to think about right here, about the life force energy of life, basically. The life energy that you have inside of you to create another human being, The whispers of the devil into the Western culture, into, America and all these type of Western countries. The whispers of the devil to release, to orgasm, to ejaculate, just for pleasure instead of reproduction, is one of the worst things that has been ever created. Every traditional / every warrior society back then, they would always conserve their energy. And what I mean by energy is their seed. They will always conserve it until they're actually going to make a baby. No one truly did it for pleasure, unless it's those type of people who go out and conquer worlds, like Genghis Khan, who rapes women and those type of things. But I'm talking about the warriors, the soldiers and stuff like that, the Romans, the soldiers. And basically, we always had it to where we would only have sex, we would only orgasm or ejaculate to reproduce another human being. And nowadays, we only do it, society only does it for pleasure, to the point where it lost its value. Just like a diamond, a diamond is hidden. Its value is it's high up there. Why? Because it's not frequent. Because high frequency equals low value, basically, in this world, right? So if you do something that is frequent, it will be low value to you. So if you keep orgasming, if you keep doing this and that, what ends up happening is you're rewiring your mind. You're setting yourself up for failure, because you keep orgasming, you keep ejaculating, bro. By the time you're trying to make a wife with your child, it's not gonna seem as good. It's gonna seem 100 times worse, 1,000,000 times worse. Because if you genuinely think about it, let's use two scenarios, right? Let's use two scenarios: a guy named Jake and a guy named John, right? Basically, and that wasn't that wasn't intentional, but I just thought of my own name, right? But basically, there's these two people, Jake and John, right? Jake is he goes out of parties, and he's doing it with many girls, yeah. And he's a party boy, right? And basically, he goes out and spreads his seed everywhere, and then he comes home, he probably jerks off, watches pornography. He learns how to do it, he F's one of the hub stars, basically, right? And then all the girls know about him. He keeps doing it, and basically, and then comes another guy. There's a guy named John. Jake makes fun of him with his friends because he doesn't go out and party and have sex, and he's still a virgin, right? They say, oh bro, you're still a virgin, you just say that you can't put any girls, right? But basically, yeah. And then John comes across a person who sees through that what is that word called, that face that guys put on to make them seem like a fake tough guy. That's something, if you haven't already known, a girl can do. A true spiritual girl, who's in tune with herself, who knows herself, she meditates, she has faith in God. She can see through the deceptions that you put up. There's this guy named pickup artistry. You can be good at picking up people, but if women see through the facade of your pickup artistry, then what ends up happening is that it won't last. It's kind of basically like a mask. you're so good like at faking it, like with this pickup artistry. But what ends up happening is that once you get in a long-term relationship, it just falls out. And you don't want to be that type of person who's like that, who chooses quantity over quality. It's better to have one great girl than it is to get 100 unfaithful, low value girls. Like, I'm sorry to say that, but you know what I'm trying to say. But basically, yeah. We need to rewire, or you need to rewire your mind into making it back to its natural state. If you look at human beings, if you look at animals, let's go into nature, bro. They mostly do it, or they usually do it, right? Most of the time, animals usually only have sex to reproduce. Humans are like probably like chimpanzees, like monkeys, bro, are the only people that like masturbate. You get what I'm trying to say? Or have sex just for pleasure. Because if you genuinely think about it, nature, I'm gonna take a quote out of the book, what's that called? Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. Look at nature. Each and every animal is doing what they should be doing. They don't, the bees, they get up in the morning, make the honey. They don't complain that, oh, we're gonna make honey. They don't sit around, we're gonna make honey. Or do they ever think inside of their head, hold on, let me pause real quick and beat my meat? No bee thinks about that. They get up and get to work, right? The ants, the worker ants, they get up in the morning, they collect the food, and then Allah says in the Quran how the birds, right? There is never a bird, or the birds always leave hungry, right? But they always come back with the food, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provides. God will always provide for you. So each and every animal, when you get up in the morning, remind yourself that each and every animal, like, they're all working to be better human beings. Not human beings, to be better people. Not people, I don't know how to say it, like better version of themselves, right? Like improving. All animals will do that. None of them will just reproduce to have pleasure. It's to reproduce and create better people, or better versions of themselves, because kids are better versions of yourself, basically. Passing down them the knowledge and stuff like that. And another thing here is ED, erectile dysfunction. So, I don't know how is it for women, but basically, guys, erectile dysfunction. When guys beat their meat, usually grip it, viewer's discretion advised, basically. But when you grip that thing, you're gonna get desensitized. You're gonna grip it, and then you're gonna grip it harder and harder. Like, I know it sounds weird, but I said viewer's discretion advised, right? And then what's gonna end up happening is, when it's time to do it with your wife, what's gonna end up happening is you're not gonna be able to perform, and it's gonna be kind of embarrassing to her, bro, that you cannot perform because you've been doing it all this time, and your ding-a-ling is gonna not be able to perform because it's so used to that. I think the word is firm, but that rough feeling of doing it, it's not gonna be able to perform. Maybe it will be able to perform, but you won't be able to perform at your best. So basically what happens is, when you use your ding-a-ling so much through a rough surface, like your hand, and you grip it so tightly, by the time you're gonna do it with your wife, which is like a soft feeling, or like a different texture from what you're usually more used to, it's not like a rough feeling as you usually do it, you're desensitizing yourself, and basically you're not gonna be able to perform it at 100%. And yeah, and so on to the next one. Basically, you get a mindset to cheat / you're gonna be unhappy with your current partner because you want different partners. And this is a thing that I realized with myself, is when I reflected back on myself on, my journey about quitting pornography, quitting beating my meat to different people, bro. Is I genuinely beat my meat, right? This is weird, right? I used to do it to different people each and every day. And what do you think you're brainwashing / rewiring your mind to think? To cheat on your wife. If you go on these hub videos, if you go on these videos, most people have a cook mentality. Most people have a cheating mentality. Like, cheating on your wife nowadays is kind of like a fetish. Because it's usually on the hub now. It's usually on the movies. It's usually everywhere. This cuck fetish / this cheating fetish on your wife. It's from pornography. And why is it from it? It's because each and every day, or probably every other day, or how frequent you do it, you're doing it to a different girl. Or you're beating your meat to another different girl each and every time. And what ends up happening is your wife, bro, the person you're supposed to lead, the person you're supposed to, be a man towards. She will feel, a girl can feel that energy of how you look at another girl and you probably are so attracted to that girl that you forget about your own wife. And that's just so sad to see, right? Think about it. What if you're a wife, right? Imagine you had a perfect wife just for you, and then your wife goes and fantasizes about other girls. You wouldn't want that. That's why I believe this is one of the most bad things, bad side effects of pornography, if not the worst, right? The mentality of being with other women or cheating, right? Because you're watching different videos, there's this kind of girl and that kind of girl. You're just rewiring your mind into believing that this is normal, that this is the norm, that you should be doing this. So, let's say, astaghfirullah, a video about delivery man, or a video about a delivery girl. You see a video on that, and then you fantasize about a delivery girl that comes over. Maybe you cheat on your wife because of her. Think about it. I know sometimes it's a little bit of a stretch, right? But these things can happen, right? And it's better to prevent the problem than to cure it, right? So that's one of the worst ways, bro. Now that I reflect on it, it's such a crucial thing. That's why many people are so unfaithful these days to their spouses. That's why there's many stepmother, stepfather nowadays, because so many divorce rates is because of pornography, this culture. That's why there's so much hookups. There's no more that dynamic, traditional way of a relationship where men and women are at its strongest, right? So the next is, it ruins the purity of your heart. It makes you think of women as sex objects instead of an actual person with feelings. Let me repeat that one more time. It ruins the purity of your heart. It makes you think of women as sex objects instead of an actual person with feelings. A woman is basically, in Islam, women are seen as precious, someone that should be protected, someone that should be valued. And nowadays, society basically says the value of a woman, whether people accept it or not, the value of women is their beauty, is their body. And if they don't have either of those, then they're low value. The moment I realized this is when I stepped into, I think it's called, I forgot what it's called, something like the Square, but basically in New York, a thing where it has so much billboards, Times Square, I think that's what it's called, yeah, Times Square, New York City, basically, right? I went in there and I realized something. I realized that, all these videos of the people talking about the billboards and stuff like that isn't actually fake. I saw it, right? New York City, it's very very, very, is it called publicized? I think that's the word. It's very publicized for beauty, like makeup, this and that. And that's what society makes, like, degrades women to, you know. Instead of telling a woman to, like, you know, meditate, be more grateful, do this and that, they tell them to, like, be objectify themselves, like willingly objectify themselves, you know, show off their body, and then wear so much makeup to the point where their natural face even isn't known anymore. Like, nobody knows their natural face. Like, I know some people, right, who wears more makeup than they don't wear makeup, right? And it just gives people of a sense of unnaturalness. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, imagine a chimpanzee with makeup. The chimpanzee would laugh because they would think it's really weird. But yeah, we humans are 100 times smarter than chimpanzees, and yet we still do it. Like, if you think about it, it's kind of funny, right? It's kind of a funny thing that we do it, even though we're 100 times smarter, or 1,000,000 times smarter than chimpanzees, bro. We still do these goofy things, right? And basically, you will see women as through a different lens if you quit this habit. You will start to respect them more. You will start to see them as actual human beings. Because I see that before, I used to put them on a pedestal. I used to think that they're this and that. What I mean by that is, like, worshiping them as gods. Like, genuinely, every day. Like, I ain't even trying to copy with you. I have God as my witness when I say this. Like, I put this on my life, bro. I used to wake up, and the number one purpose of my life was to get a girlfriend, or, you know, talk to girls. And I just put them in the pedestal that high up, right? And you will think as them as sex objects. What I mean by that is, every time you see a girl, the only thing you're gonna think about her is doing sex with her, right? Like, each and every woman you see, you're gonna fantasize about her. You're gonna think about her, about having sex with her. And this ruins your quality of life. Because let's say that you're going through a grocery, right? And then you're just going about your day, and it's a beautiful day. You're having a good day. But then you start to sexualize about this girl who is just being nice to you, who's, you know, let's, like, a servant of God. Or let's just say that you're going to Jummah prayer in the mosque. You see a sister, right? You see a sister, and then you start to fantasize about her, bro. And then you go home, and astaghfirullah, you go home, and then you go in the hub and you search up hijabi, bro. Astaghfirullah, bro. Astaghfirullah. Oh my gosh, bro. Just imagine that, bro. Like, astaghfirullah, bro. You go and do that, and then think about what you just did, bro. You're objectifying a woman, bro. Like, I'm gonna name a story right here, bro. So someone came to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and basically he said, I want to commit zina, which is adultery, right? I want to commit adultery. What do I do? Right? Can I do it? And this is what Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said. He said, would you want that for your mom? And he said, by Allah, no. Do you want that for your aunt? No. Do you want that for your daughter? No. So why would you do that to someone's daughter, to someone's mother, to someone's sister, to someone's nephew, to someone's niece, to someone's granddaughter? That person that you're doing it to, right? You're beating your meat to, right? You are blatantly disrespecting a person's daughter. Like, even though a woman, like the hub stars, even though that, like, they put themselves out there, it doesn't mean that you should, like, do it to them. You get what I'm trying to say? Is because you're still disrespecting that person's father. That's what I'm trying to say. Because you are, what is that called? Like, what is that word? You're reinforcing that belief, I guess. You're reinforcing what they're doing. That's what I mean. Like, these OnlyFans girls who makes millions of dollars, these porn actresses that make so much money, are only rich because of guys who beat their meats to them, bro. Like that. If you genuinely like went back in time and you told this to someone, they would just laugh, bro. Like, imagine someone being a millionaire, right? A person of power, a person of authority, a person who has so much money, who can change the world with just money, and the way they built their empire is by putting their body up in the internet. They will laugh. No one would believe that. But it is the time we live in today. It's kind of goofy, but you know. Basically, end off this video with this final thing. I watched this video from I Am Lucid, right? And you can watch this video, but basically you just go search up every study that proves pee is bad, right? And basically, when I watched that video, there was a thing that really stuck with me, and it's Ted Bundy's video. A reporter asked Ted Bundy, "What do you think would happen if you did not stumble upon pornography?" And Ted Bundy, you know, he's like a very infamous serial killer, right? Basically, pretty sure he's like one of the most, if not the most infamous serial killer. But basically, right, a reporter asked him, "What do you think life would be like without pornography in your life if you never stumbled upon pornography?" And he said that each and every one of this jail cell, all the criminals in the world, would be in a much better place if they never found pornography. Let that sink in. If all criminals did not stumble upon pornography, they would all be in a better place. Cigarettes is pornography is the cigarettes of my generation. Why did people take cigarettes? Number one, the medical people said it was healthy. Number two, it made them escape from reality, made them feel that pleasure, and made them feel good in the short term, but in the long term ruined their life. Cigarettes ruin the lungs. Pornography ruins your penis, ruins your mind, ruins everything. Pornography is worse than cigarettes. And people downplay it because it makes so much money. There is a hidden agenda behind this. And if you do not see it, then you are brainwashed to the max, bro. It's a beautiful day out here. I'm gonna go journal, I'm gonna go meditate. I'm gonna watch some videos so I can learn more. And you go do what you need to do. And that's enough for me. Improve your life and be the best boss man you can be. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, bro.